Because I feel like you could get it for like dirt cheap during like a Halloween sale or something.
I mean, during the winter sale, like, it didn't get that cheap. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but it wasn't like anything like life-changing, you know.
Oh, it's like the 10% discount.
Not quite that bad, but maybe like 25%, something like that.
Okay, that's still like a fourth of the. That's like a fourth of the price knocked off. That's not bad.
Yeah. But anyways, hello everyone. It's time for Boys, 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 everyone's favorite.
Wait, there's people?
Yeah.
Where are they?
It's lurking, probably. You know, Spooky's out door dashing. You see Peachy in chat, but Peachy hasn't said anything.
Hi, I am back for boys, with boys, and more boys, and boys, but mostly boys.
Yes. You have successfully recovered from illness. Oh no!
Oh no, Fox!
It's okay, I'll shut you out anyways, because you deserve it.
Quick, offline raid, just tell everybody to come here. Just post the link in your chat to twitch.tv/Sakyu. And get them over here as fast as possible.
Yeah. You were last streaming art. Wow, I had no idea.
What were you drawing? Click, click.
My thoughts head empty. I got nothing in my head.
Ref sheet, let's go. I am also no thoughts, head empty.
Valid. I guess I'll just hit continue.
But wait, Sakyu, what happened last time that requires us to recap?
You made your entire computer crash? Oof.
Oh, no.
OBS was not happy at all. I'll be honest, I edited like the video like the week before last week, or I don't know. Not today. Last week. Yeah. So I don't remember.
Well, it was like something along the lines of blah 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 persona mirror. We are a figment of Snow who wants him to live and come out of his coma, but he also fused with the desire of someone on the outside, our character, who wants him to wake up so that way they can meet him.
Yeah, there we go. It's your turn with a brain cell.
Oh, I'm not responsible for the brain cell.
Oh dear. Well,
I'll lose it again. Just watch me.
Yeah, I mean... You can't be serious.
Oh, but I am. I will lose the brain cell.
Next night, sure enough, Yoshi showed up at the lake. As soon as he saw me, he ran a hand through his ash-gray hair. I guess he thought I was joking about coming back.
Oh yeah, and then we're getting the Snow backstory with Huntsman.
Yeah. Silently, he sat down beside me. A few minutes passed, which neither of us said a word. It was a peaceful moment. The only sound was that of the waves. Just like always. Except this time, I wasn't alone. As I gazed out at the water, lost in thought, Yoshi slowly began to speak. Is it fun? Just looking out at the empty lake. Not really. He took a small pack from his pants pocket and pulled out a thin white stick. What is that?
No, Ryoshi, don't teach the baby how to smoke.
A cigarette. What's a cigarette? I never heard this word before. What? You've never seen one before? What a strange kid. As he spoke, he set the cigarette between his lips. You eat it?
I mean,
do not eat cigarettes, please.
but it does end up in your body, just not via
Different
that
way.
method.
Yeah.
食べない
No,
煙
you
は吸
inhale
うんだ
the
よ
smoke. Mars, no.
It sounds unhealthy.
似たようなものじゃないか。
How is that any
Just so you-
different? Goodness.
Just so you guys know, any form of smoke typically is bad for you.
Yes, indeed.
そうかもな
Good question. He reached into his pocket again. This time, he produced a lighter.
それで燃やすんだね。
So, you light it on fire? I guess that's one way to create smoke. Yeah.
No, what you do is that you just rub your hands together with it between them until you create enough friction to create smoke, and then you inhale that.
That sounds a lot more dangerous.
I
そ
know.
うだ
Yep.
ライター
I
は知っ
take
て
it
ん
you
だ
know
な
what a lighter is then. He lit the cigarette with no trouble, as if he'd done it 100 times before. He probably has. White smoke rose up into the air. The smell stung my nostrils, and I inadvertently inhaled the smoke. My lungs reflexively coughed it back out.
No!
What a weird smell.
Why are we teaching the baby how to smoke? This is the worst ending.
I buried my nose in my elbow to protect it from the smoke.
それ、
So, does that smoke
Oishino.
taste good or something?
Absolutely
い
not.
や
Not at all.
むしろま
nasty.
ずい
ふん。
Huh?
美味
So you
しく
don't
も
like
ないのに
smoking,
食べ
but
る
you
ん
do it
だ。
anyway? That's
変わってる
weird.
ね。
そうかも
Yeah,
な
maybe so. He pulled the cigarette from his lips and exhaled a gust of white smoke. It stood out in sharp contrast against the dark night sky, almost like a ghost.
体には毒だと言
They
われ
say
るが
smoking poisons the body.
これが好き
Well,
だ
there are
という
tons
や
of
つ
people
が
in the world who
世
choose
の
to
中
do
に
it
はいっ
anyway.
ぱいいる
それ
Choose is a strong word there. It's called an addiction.
Yeah. It's poison?
ああそうだ
Yeah, it is.
だから
So don't try it at
奴は
home,
真似するな
alright,
よ
kids?
Only when you're at the lake with the cool grown-ups can you smoke.
He put the cigarette back between his lips, a stoic expression on his face.
This is the same energy of like when the seniors in high school tell you, yeah, you can hang with us, and they're all just smoking cigarettes.
It was poison, yet he smoked it as if it was his duty.
ガキは飴でも
Kids
食
like
って
you
ろ
should stick to lollipops. As he spoke, he produced a brightly wrapped candy from the pocket of his jacket and handed it to me.
いらない。
Pass. I threw it on the ground.
おい
Hey. He smacked me over the head.
ちしつ
Got
けも
him
なくてね
twerp.
ガキだな
Didn't anybody teach you some manners?
It's
Gaki's
rap. Just
alive.
pick it up.
I'm not a twerp. I scowled. I wasn't expecting a total stranger to hit me. Meanwhile, Yoshi put out his cigarette, rose to his feet, and picked up the lollipop. Silently, I watched as he unwrapped it and put it in his mouth.
Well, at least he's pacing himself. He only had like 2 puffs, and then he switched to the lollipop.
Yeah. This.
But still, that seems like it's just doubly wasteful and expensive, honestly.
Yeah. This tastes way better.
汚
it
くない
dirty?
の？
It was in the wrapper still, no.
Yeah, it was in the wrapper. What the fuck? I mean, maybe the stick, but
Yeah.
like if you're deep throating a lollipop like that, you have bigger problems.
I stared in disbelief.
時間に地面に落ちた
No,
わけじゃない
it still
から
had its wrapper
大丈
on.
夫だろ
That's what we were saying.
Exactly.
ふん。
He rolled the lollipop around on his tongue. The more I watched him, the more it piqued my curiosity.
Well, at least we're not getting him on drugs.
True.
At least we're just getting him hooked on sugar. You know, the legal, safe drug.
On second thought, I think I want one.
素直じゃねえな。
Will you make up your mind? As he spoke, he produced another lollipop from his pocket.
Huntsman would definitely be that grandpa that gives out butterscotch candy.
He would. Here. This time, I held it in my hand.
食べねえのか。
You're not gonna eat it.
食べない。
No. That wasn't why I wanted one. I just wanted to copy him.
So he's gonna twist it around his mouth with the
Wrapper.
wrapper on?
I sure hope not. I held the lollipop aloft. Inside the clear wrapper, the bright red candy sparkled in the moonlight. It almost looked like an apple. Meow.
An apple?
Apple.
Apple.
Apple. From then on, Roshi continued to show up night after night. He talked about all kinds of stuff. He told me he moved out here all by himself to attend college. His parents were doctors, and they wanted him to study medicine too.
The hunters.
Apple.
Apple.
Fascinating.
The hunters.
俺は医者に向いてない
I'm
んだよ。
not really fit to be a doctor.
頭も特別
I'm
良
not
か
that
ったわけ
smart.
じゃない。
I'm not that good with my
手先
hands.
もそれほど器用じゃない。
血も苦手だし
And you
ね。
don't like blood either.
ああ、そうだ。
Right, you are. He was uncomfortable with blood, yet he was trying to be a doctor anyway.
どうして
Why?
血が苦
So,
手なの？
why don't you like blood exactly? Guess we're gonna find out.
It's red, it's liquidy, it gets everywhere.
He paused for a moment.
あの独特な
I
鉄
hate
臭
the
さと
coppery smell,
色がいい。
and I hate the color. Damn.
Damn.
What, red?
なんかグロい
It's
だ
just
ろ。
kinda gross, you know? Damn, good thing red isn't here.
ふーん。
Huh. I pictured blood. Bright red blood. Yeah. Evidently, he and I had some things in common.
俺も
Me too.
Blood sucks, let's go!
Huh?
俺も
I hate the color
赤い
red
色は
too.
嫌いだ。
Before I knew it, the word slipped out.
うん。
This time, his voice carried a hint of amusement. Looking up, I realized he was actually smiling for a change.
何？
What are you smirking
ニヤ
about?
ニヤして気
You're
持ち悪
freaking
い。
me out.
珍しいな。
I'm just not used to
お
hearing you
前が
talk
自分
about
のことを
yourself.
話すなんて。
So wait, if Snow hates the color red,
Mm-hmm.
follow me here, and he gets a red delicious apple, does that mean you have to peel the skin off the apple before he'll eat it?
I don't think so, but maybe. Ow. I decided to smack him, just in case. Just in case.
Just in case.
He was right. I never contributed to the conversation. I only ever listened.
And smack people, but
Yeah, kicking his unguarded shin, you know.
yeah.
Until now, he never really commented on it. But it wasn't because he wasn't interested in me. If he wasn't interested, then he wouldn't bother coming here night after night. That said, he didn't pry or get involved more than absolutely necessary. His motives were a mystery, but still, he struck me as sincere.
That's called having a friend.
Less then, he plunged a hand into his pocket.
またタバコ？
Another cigarette?
よくわかったな。
How'd you know?
Clockwork, baby.
He deftly lit the cigarette, like he'd done so many times before. White smoke rose into the air once more.
わかるよそれくらい。
Anyone could have guessed. I had spent the past few nights hanging out with him, and by this point, he was fairly predictable. Come to think of
Like
it.
clockwork, baby.
Come to think of it. I adapted to the smell of the smoke, too.
Oh, that must suck. Because it's like, it gets in your clothes and Snow's just like right next to him. So like, Snow's clothes probably smells like a fucking chimney.
Probably. Meanwhile, he continued to smoke with an apathetic look on his face. He sat in silence, just staring out at the empty sky. This meant he was thinking about something. Yet another thing I learned about him in the short time we'd known each other.
ね
So,
え、どう
how
して
come you
毒だ
smoke
と
if you
分か
know
って
it's
て
bad for you?
タバコを吸う
Do you
の？
want to die?
漁師は
The $1,000,000 question.
死にたくて吸ってるわけ
No,
じゃない
I'm not trying to die.
ただ
I'm just...
ただ
Trying to live. Smokes an entire pack.
Just what?
こうすれば
When I do it,
少し
I
で
feel
も
like
近
I'm
づ
that
けるん
much
じゃない
closer
か
to
と
my
思って
goal.
な
Please elaborate, I do not understand.
Eh?
ふーん
Huh? He didn't press further. You should have, because I'm confused, Snow. He had his own life, just like I had mine.
He smokes to get closer to his goal?
And is not trying to die.
And he's also trying not to be a doctor, but he's still trying to... Wait, no, he's trying to be a doctor. So wait, is he saying, like, smoking gets him closer to his goal of being a doctor?
Maybe he's trying to be like his father?
Maybe. That could be
Yeah.
it, too. Because we did get key details last time that his father is a heavy smoker.
Mm-hmm. If he wanted to tell me, he was free to do so. If not, he could keep it to himself.
そうだ
That reminds me. Ouch. As he looked up suddenly, the cigarette fell from his lips and grazed his skin. What a klutz.
Well, yeah, it's on fire.
Yeah,
今日はお前にいいもの
I
を
brought a
持って
little
きた
gift for you tonight. No.
何？
What is it?
A book.
I'm expecting more candy. I looked at him curiously. Then he pulled a book from his briefcase.
It's his medical textbook from
部
college.
屋の整理をしてた時に見つけたいるか
I'm betting it's a children's book,
Oh, 100%.
because that's what we picked. Found
It's definitely a children's book.
Found this when I was cleaning my room. Want it? In other words, he was trying to pawn off his trash.
Well,
Oh,
he's
should I
more
go?
like offering it as a gift
Yeah.
to see if you're interested, and then he's gonna trash it if you're not.
You like books, don't you? Slowly, I nodded. I didn't just like books. I loved books.
ありがとう。
Thank you. The words came to me naturally as I accepted the book. He had given me other gifts in the past, but this was the first time I'd actually thanked him.
ちゃんと家に帰って
Be
読
sure
む
to
よ
read it when you get home.
That's called character growth.
He seemed pleased with my reaction because he ruffled my hair. Very good.
分かってるよ。
Yeah, I know. His hand was warm, and I didn't mind the affection.
This is just Snow picks up on social cues, the arc, isn't it?
Maybe. In the end, I was so curious to read my new book that I went home early that night.
Tadaima.
Oh.
I'm back. All the lights were off inside the house. And although it was winter, the heater was off and it was freezing inside. Careful not to trip over anything, I navigated my way to the living room, where I found my mother asleep.
Wait, is this when the mother's alive?
I think so. I catch pneumonia, you know? I couldn't let my beloved mother get sick, so I grabbed the blanket off the floor and put it back over her. On the table was an apple pie.
Okay, pre-death.
Thanks for the food, Mother. Apple pies were my mother's specialty. She used to make them for me all the time, but she stopped having much free time after she started working outside the home. Once I finished my meal, I pulled on my red cloak and moved to the window. We lived deep in the woods, but with a thick blanket of snow reflecting the moonlight, the nights weren't quite so dark. Then it was time to read my new book. If Mother knew I was doing this, would she be upset with me?
that you got a gift from a friend and you accepted it. Like,
And would she be happy? Either way, she had no way of actually finding out since she was asleep. Unlike the fairy tales Mother would often read to me at bedtime, Yoshi's book was full of intricate human relationships and plot twists.
I didn't know they were reading Chaos Head.
God damn it. Well, I'm thinking that this is the book that, like, Snow's read to death.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way this isn't the book that he just read a million times over.
Yeah. The next day.
Maybe closer to 2 million.
Yeah.
何
What?
お前
Kid, you're practically skin and bones.
ちゃん
Have
と
you been
飯食
eating
って
at
るの
all?
か
Yeah, he's had pie.
食べてるよ
Sure, I eat.
ああ
Hmm.
ほら
Here,
これ
eat
食え
this. He throws the plastic bag at me.
何これ
What's in there? Inside,
Sandwiches.
I could see sandwiches, rice balls, and a variety of other snacks.
お前はガキなんだ
You're
か
still
ら
a kid,
もっと
so you
た
need
く
to
さん
eat
食え
more. Otherwise,
でな
you
いと
won't grow big and
でかくな
strong.
らないぞ
Malnutrition for the win. Let's go.
別に毒なんて入っ
Relax,
ちゃね
I
え
didn't poison them or
安心しろよ
anything. He sat there in silence for a moment. Then, as if to reassure me, he reached into the bag, grabbed a sandwich, unwrapped it, and took a bite.
それ
Is it
美
good?
味しい
まあ
Maybe
そう
it
だ
is.
な
Maybe it isn't.
気になるなら食ってみればいい
I
よ
see the game you're playing, Huntsman.
If you want to find out for sure, then have one.
いらない
No thanks.
あら
You're not hungry?
減ってないのか
うん
No. I was lying. Truth be told, I was starving. But I couldn't accept his charity, no matter what.
漁師は自分で
Huntsman,
料理を
do you
作
ever
ったり
cook
し
for
ないの
yourself?
I can answer
Shit.
this. No.
Nope.
誰か作ってくれる
Do you
人は
have
いない
someone
の
else who cooks for you?
You don't get a gas station banquet like that without knowing how to
True.
not cook for yourself.
一人暮らしだから
No, I live on my own.
うん
Huh.
お前は
What about you?
母様がいつ
My
もアップ
mother
ル
always
パイを
makes
作っ
apple
てくれ
pies
る
for me.
アップルパイ
Apple pie, as you say.
うん
Uh-huh.
うー
Hmm.
ん
Hmm.
Before we went home, Yoshi forced me to take the bag of food. He refused to take no for an answer.
Well, to be fair, he just heard that this kid is only eating apple pies as his only source of nutrition for an entire day. Weeks, maybe even months at this point.
At least it has a fruit in it, I don't know.
And a butt ton of sugar and crust, like...
I'm just saying there's worse
minimum.
options.
Yeah, there's worse options. Like, poison that will instantly kill you and poison that will slowly kill you over time. There's worse options, but they'll still kill you.
And so, I carried the whole bag home with me.
Tadaima.
I'm back. When I arrived at home, I called out into the darkness.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Then I set my bag down on the kitchen table. I felt like Yoshi was treating me like a stray cat, I mean.
Because you are. You're just a little meow meow.
A wild animal, untamed by human hands. Part of me thought this was pretty rude, but at the same time, I knew he was trying to be nice.
He just cares a little too much, that's all.
Because of that, I was starting to think it might be okay to eat this food. I pulled a sandwich out of the bag and unwrapped it.
How much do you want to bet the mother's gonna wake up and think he stole the food?
We're gonna find out. It looked extremely appetizing. 3 stream streak. Let's go.
Ah!
Hi, Peachy. Dog. Rude. Why? I must dog.
Dog heard Peachy and decided to bark.
Maybe. Then I opened my mouth wide and took a bite. It's no sound.
Oh no, poison!
But my body rejected it, and I spat it out on the spot. I couldn't remember the last time I successfully ate something. As long as I could remember, no matter how hungry I got, my stomach rejected all food. I wanted to eat so badly, but I couldn't eat unless my stomach let me.
だから
This is why I
言わない
tried
って
to turn him
言
down.
ったのに
So this is actually pretty interesting. So you want to know why you need a variety in your diet?
Just tell me.
So you have a variety in your diet because your stomach does different things to digest different foods.
Mm-hmm.
So like it for some foods it'll increase the acidity, other foods it will lower the acidity. But if it doesn't have a good variety of foods throughout your entire life, it will only know how to break down certain foods.
I see.
So it gets really interesting when we have these cases where people have only eaten like one food their entire life, or like can only stomach one type of food because of how their diet is, and you have to like slowly introduce new food to them.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
So this could be what's happening with Snow,
Maybe.
because like all we've heard is that he eats apple pies and that's it.
Yeah.
So, and even then, like he doesn't particularly enjoy eating apple pies,
Yeah.
which is weird.
In the mirror, I could see a bunny boy staring back at me.
Hi, Alice. Oh wait, no. Alice doesn't come till later.
妹
You have a sister?
ああ、そうだ。
Yeah, a younger sister. Monday, I learned that Ryoshi had a sister.
Sister.
へえ
Wow.
両親
I
に
never
妹
knew
が
you
いた
had
ん
a
だ
sister.
はじ
そりゃそうだろ。
Yeah, because I never
初めて
mentioned
言っ
it
たか
until
ら
now.
ふん
Huh. He had spoken of his family a fair few times thus far, but this was the first time he mentioned a sister. Something about it felt off to me. You'd think he'd have told me about her sooner.
どんな子なの
No. What's she
やっ
like?
ぱり
Is she a
両
grouch
親の
like you?
妹だからいかつかったりするの
After all, Yoshi had the face of a stone-cold killer.
Because he is. He puts on the Michael Myers mask and jumps into the lake.
So chances were high his sister had a grumpy disposition too. However,
妹は
just
俺とは
nothing
似て
like
ね
me. At this, I felt a tiny bit disappointed.
じゃあ可愛
So,
い
you're saying she's cute?
Snow
まあ
immediately
そうかもな。
immediately spiking that as soon as Ryoshi lobbed it up.
一部の連中にはもてはやされてる。
Well, sure, I guess. Certain people like to gush about how adorable she is.
ふん
Huh. Something about his tone gave me pause. He made it sound like the majority of people didn't think she was cute.
I love that he had to preface that with certain groups of people.
Yeah. I decided to dig a little deeper.
他とは違う
Does she look different from the other kids? Yoshi's looks were truly one of a kind. Ash gray hair and icy blue eyes. When he said she was nothing like him, probably didn't mean physically.
あ
Yeah,
あ、そう
I'd say so. I replied in a low voice.
まあ、そうい
And
う
in
意
that
味じゃ
sense, I guess she
俺と似てる
is
かも
similar to me.
変わってるんだ
We're
よ。
both a couple of freaks.
俺もあいつも
We're all a couple of freaks. It's called society, baby.
どう変わってるの
How so? He paused for a moment.
瞳の色が
She has two-toned
Sure.
eyes.
Oh, I thought that was the Terminator looking entire.
Her eyes have two colors?
ああ、そうだ。
Yeah, exactly.
まあ、それ
Granted,
自体
it
はさ
isn't
ほど
entirely
珍しくもない
unheard
らしいん
of.
だがな。あいつの交際
But in
は
her case, her irises have a vertical blue
上
to
下で
red
グラデーションみ
gradient.
たいになってるんだよ。
I told you it's the Terminator awakening.
Well, I could hear my voice go up an octave. After all, red and blue were contrasting colors. I collected myself, then asked in a calmer voice.
何かの病気
Is it a health condition? I didn't mean to be rude, but I couldn't think of a nicer way to ask.
You know what? That's fair.
Yeah,
俺と同じ
Nah,
先天性の
like
も
me.
のなんだ。
it's simply the way she was born.
視力は別
Her
に悪くない
eyesight's
し、
fine, so she's really no
色が
different
違う
from
だけで。
anyone else.
他は普通の人と変わらない。
兄弟揃って
You both
派手なん
must
だね
really stand out.
まあな、
Yeah, you could say that.
どこに行って
We
も
attract attention
目
no
立って
matter
しょ
where
う
we
がねえよ。
go.
Yeah, because you look at the cover of a fucking men's fashion magazine, my dude.
Right? Yeah, I bet. With looks like his, anyone would do a double take. City or
Because he's hot.
city or countryside, it didn't matter.
妹は何歳
So, how old is she?
年は
About
お
the
前
same
く
as
らい
you.
だな。
She has really
あ
long
とは
hair
髪が長
and
くて。
he stopped short. His eyes bored into me, and I tilted my head in confusion.
何
She's taller than you.
What? Come to
そういえ
think
ば
of it,
お
you
前
remind
に
me
似て
of
るよ。
her.
Oh, that's gonna get you a shin kicking, my dude.
俺に
I do.
見た目もだろ。
It's not just your appearance
な
either.
んとなく。
It's hard to explain.
おいこら、
Hey, careful,
危
damn
ねえ
it.
な。
Right as I tried to peer into the lake, he grabbed me by the scruff of the neck.
湖を
I was
覗
just
こうと
looking
し
at
た
the
だけだよ
water. I shoved his hand away and looked down again. In the reflection of the water, Yoshi and I didn't look all that different. Unlike me and my mother.
What about him and his
Nah.
mother?
漁師の妹はどんな
They
子な
don't
の
look alike. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
So, what kind of personality does your sister have? Not that I know Yoshi had a sister, I made a point of asking about her every now and then. Her likes and dislikes, the books she read, the things that made her sad. The more I learned about her, the more real she felt, even if she wasn't here.
Someone has a crush. Someone has a crush.
But I quickly hit a dead end. Why? Because Yoshi didn't know much about her to begin with.
Oh, Peachy, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about Snow and Rikyu. But yes,
If the shoe fits.
if the shoe fits, walk down the runway with it.
And for good reason. Stop, Peachy. When she was almost 10, she moved away with her mother to a different country, while Yoshi moved here by himself. We hadn't seen each other in several years. As for why he chose this town specifically,
別荘があって、
our family owns a
毎
summer
年遊
home
び
out
に来て
here.
たからな
We。used to come here every year. He made it sound like an afterthought. Apparently his family was loaded. For the first time in my life, I was grateful that this stupid backwoods town was a tourist trap. Otherwise, I never would have met Roshi and learned about his sister. Not that I'd ever admit this to Roshi directly, of course.
これが妹
So, that's her?
ああ、
Yep,
So-
that's my sister. Huh. One day, Yoshi was thoughtful enough to bring a photo of his sister so I could see her. Probably because I kept asking about her all the time.
今より少し若
You
く見
look
え
a
る
little
ね
younger here.
そうか。
Do I? Here's a photo of the two siblings together. I looked from younger Yoshi to current Yoshi and back again. In the photo, he still had the same icy blue eyes and ash gray hair.
うん
Yeah,
仏頂面
it's
は
safe to
変わ
have
ら
the
ないけ
same
ど
grouchy face. He flicked my forehead. This dude really needs to learn not to hit people just because they said something he didn't like. I mean,
where do you think he learned it from?
and again, I guess that applies to me too.
Damn straight, bitch.
To distract myself, I looked back at the photo. I could see a small girl next to Roshi. She looked at me.
Actually, who hit first? Like,
I don't
Snow or
remember.
Ryoshi?
I really don't
I think
remember.
it was Snow.
Probably. His unguarded shin, you know.
Yeah, the unguarded shin.
She looked to be under 10 years old. Her light brown hair looked thick and soft, and she wore ribbons on either side of her head. Her pure white dress suited her doll-like aesthetic. It was my first time seeing her, yet for some reason, she made me think of the past.
本当に
She really does have
不思議
strange
な目だね。
eyes. Her eyes were unlike anything I'd ever seen. Not like mine, not like Roshi's, and of course, not like my mother's. They had a shine that was all her own.
Oh, that's so weird. The audio cut out for me for a minute.
Oh. It seemed less red and more pink. I ran a finger over her eyes. Her expression carried a hint of sadness.
とても綺麗だ。
She was really pretty. It was the honest truth of how I felt. She sparkled like a gem. If my mother saw her, she'd give me a big hug and say, "You look like a princess."
ね
So,
え、どうして
why do
漁
you
師
care
は
about me so
俺に
much?
構うの？
Huh? Now you ask me that? I looked up at him.
初めのうちは
At first, I thought you might be
こ
pretty
んな
bored
夜
to
中に
hang
出
out
歩
with
く
some
ような
kid
子
this
供
late
に
at
構っ
night.
たりするのはでも
But the truth is,
本当
you
は
have a
そうじゃ
reason
なく
for
て
doing it, right?
何か重要な理由があるんだろう。
別に
Not really. He answered brusquely, averting his gaze. As usual, he slipped at hiding things. But he seemed to realize they had seen through him, because he hastily shot back.
お前こそ
What about you?
なん
Why
で
do you
そん
wanna
なに
know
俺の
about my
妹の
sister,
ことを知
huh?
りたがるんだ
アリスだから
Because she's a fairy tale protagonist.
あ
What?
というのもあるけど
Well, okay. That's part
本
of
当
it.
のところは
But it's not
少
just
し違
that.
う。俺が
I want to know
彼
about
女の
her
ことを
because
知りたがる
she's a
のは
princess I've never met.
彼女が会ったこともないお姫様だからだよ。
What? He repeated his question. This annoyed me. What was his problem?
何呆れた
Don't
顔
you
してん
roll
だ
your
よ
eyes at me, kid.
んな
It's
抽
not
象
my
的
fault
な
I
表
don't
現でわ
understand
か
your
るか
stupid metaphor.
なら
Whatever.
一
You
生
don't
わから
have
な
to.
くていいよ。
He turned my face away. The one time I tried to open up to him, he was too stupid to get it. Was he really that abstract? Immediately after the loud sigh, the chilly wind blew his cigarette smoke in my direction.
あいつがお姫様
I
か
don't
ど
know
う
if
か
she's a
なんてわからない
princess,
が
which is a lot more
あ
gifted
いつ
than
は
I
俺よ
am.
りずっ
She can do just about
優秀だよ。
anything.
何をやらせてもできる親はそ
Her
んなあい
parents
つを
really
信頼
trust
してい
her.
るし
They spoil her
可愛がって
often,
る
漁師よりも
more than you.
漁師が都
Did
会
you
じゃな
choose to
く
come out here and study to be a
こんな
hunter
田舎で
because
漁
you
師にな
wanted to
るた
get
め
away
の勉
from
強
her?
をしているのは妹から離れたかったからそうか
Gotcha. You never really wanted to be a hunter at all,
漁師は
did you?
漁師になんかなりたくなかったんだね
まだ見習いだ
I'm
け
still
どな
just an intern.
いや
You know,
見習いに
not
す
even
らなって
that,
ねえが
really. He let out a self-depreciating laugh.
つまり
So basically,
自分
you
よりも
resented
ず
your
っと
more
優秀な
talented
のに
sister for not having to carry on
女だ
with
か
the
ら
only
という理
legacy
由で
because she was a
家
girl.
業を継がなくてもいい妹にイラついているんだでも
But aren't
別に
female
今の
hunters
時
pretty
代だった
common
ら
these days?
女性の漁師なんて珍しくはないんじゃないの
I didn't know any myself, But according to my mother, they definitely existed.
漁師のお母さんだって
Isn't your mom a
漁師の
hunter
仕事
too?
についているんだろ。
まあな。
Yep.
でも
Well, I think I can understand how you feel.
少しわかる気がする。誰かと比べられ
It's like
る
being
のは
constantly compared to someone
とて
else.
も嫌なことだ。漁師は
You're your own
漁
person,
師なのに
you
ね。
know? Thanks.
ありがとな。
なんで
For what?
お礼？
なんとなく
Just felt like saying it.
そんな気がした。
ねえ漁師、
Say, huntsman,
漁師
If you
が
lost
進む
your
道
way,
に迷ってるな
then
ら
allow me to give you a
俺
hint.
がヒントをあげようか。
Oh?
あ
What?
今から俺と
Let's play a game.
ゲームをしよう。
Oh, here we go.
What?
そう、
Like I said,
ゲー
let's
ム。
play a game.
これから
I'll give you a riddle,
俺は君
and
に
I want you to
謎
solve
かけ
it.
を行う。
俺が勝っ
And
た
if I
ら
win,
俺の秘
I'll
密
tell
を
you
教
my
え
secret.
てあげる。
You pause to think for a moment.
もし
If I can
俺が
guess the
正
right
解した
answer,
ら
will you stop
も
doing
う
this
こんなこ
crap?
とはやめるか。
No.
こんなことって
What crap?
分かってんだ
You know what I'm talking about.
夜中に
Wandering
ガキ
around
が
alone at night.
一人で出歩くことだ。
そうだね。
No, that.
検討
Don't
する
think
よ。
about it.
検討じゃな
Don't
く
just think about it.
約
I
束
want you to promise me.
約束するよ。
Okay, I promise. At this, Yoshi let out a sigh.
分かった。
Fine. We'll
Nah.
play your little game.
お前の遊びに付き合ってやるよ。
暇人だね。
You really don't have a life, do you?
お前もな。
And neither do you.
それはとても理不
It's
尽な
something
も
that
の。
doesn't make sense.
それは
Something anyone
誰
may
にでも持て
possess.
るもの。
But the moment you obtain it,
だけ
it
ど
ceases to exist.
手に入れれば
Crap, we figured this one out
一瞬で
already.
消えてしまう。それは
Anyone can have
誰に
one,
でも
but
見え
when
る
you
もの。
open your eyes, will vanish without a
だけど
trace.
目を
Oh
開け
yeah,
れ
it
ば
was Dream, wasn't it?
Yep.
跡形もなくなくなってしまう。
The hell was that?
なんだそ
A
れ。
riddle, you bitch. Solve it.
謎かけだよ。
A riddle.
謎か。
That's the riddle. His face stiffened, and I couldn't help but laugh.
まあ
I mean,
頑張って。
do you want to hear one about 10 Brothers?
Oh boy.
He has that one locked and loaded too.
Well, good luck. From that night forward, Yoshi would ask questions about the riddle.
Oh no, he's dumb.
Yeah, it's
それ
okay.
はとても理
It's
不尽
something
なも
that
の。
doesn't make sense.
それは
Something anyone
誰
may
にでも
possess.
持てるもの。
But the moment you
だけ
obtain
ど
it, it
手に
ceases
入
to
れれば一
exist.
瞬で消えて
Is
しま
it
う。
sad that I kind of want to see his thought process on wrong answers?
I mean, no, you're valid.
それは誰にでも
Anyone
言え
can
る。
have one, but when you open your
だけど、
eyes, will
目を
vanish
開け
without
れ
a
ば
trace.
跡形もなくなくなってしまう。謎かけっていう
You
が
say this is a riddle.
そも
I
そ
don't
も
even know
何
where
が
to
謎なの
start.
かがさっ
Skill
ぱり
issue.
わからねえんだが。
Yeah, absolute skill issue. We figured this out almost instantly.
Yeah.
これは謎かけなんだ
The
か
whole
ら
point of a riddle is for you
自
to
分で考
figure
え
it out
なければ
yourself.
意味がないだ
Think
ろ
about the meaning of the word. When I went home that night, I left him with a disgruntled scowl on his face. The next night,
謎かけと
the
は
riddle is a quiz in which
問いかけ
clever
に
word
対して
players generally they
本気を
answer.
聞かせた答えを要求する。
Good job, you consulted a
言葉遊びを用
dictionary.
いたクイズ
Yeah,
で
he
あ
he
る。
did his research on WebMD.
Apparently, he went and looked into the literal meaning of the word. Oh god. He may have looked like a delinquent punk, but evidently he was actually a hard worker. He's a little
Look.
dumb though.
Not quick wit,
Mhm.
hard worker though.
Yeah.
要はあれだろ
I think I got the gist.
それが何なの
Basically,
か
you want me to
当てろって
figure out
いう
what
こと
it
だろ
is, right?
Wow, it took him 3 days for that.
Huntsman, please.
It took him 3 days to figure out what the question was. Oh, yes, you said these words to me.
Well, what is it? And again, he failed to answer.
Look, baby steps. He now at least knows what he's trying to answer.
Yeah, he understands what a riddle is conceptually. Now he has to figure out the riddle itself. Based on our conversations thus far, I had known he wasn't too well versed in this sort of thing. But I didn't realize he was this dense. It was really killing my fun.
しょうがない。
Fine.
じゃあ
You leave me no
少
choice.
しだけヒン
I'll
トを
give you
教
one
えてあげ
hint.
る。それは別々
It
の
could
意
mean
味を持
different
つもの
things,
で、
but it can also
同じ
mean
意
the
味を
same
持つ
thing.
ものでもある。どう？
Well, figured it out yet? It was the biggest hint I could possibly give him, yet he still didn't quite get it.
わかるわけねえだろ
How could I possibly figure it out from that?
Because he's trying to lead you to the point of, like, it's a goal.
Yeah.
Because goals are multiple things, but also the same thing at the same time.
God, Huntsman, you're so dumb.
He is! Peachy, this is your man.
He smacked me over the head. You're the one who can't answer a stupid riddle.
前に漁師は
So
本
unless you
をく
gave
れ
me a
たけ
book
ど、
the other day, I had
漁師
assumed
は
you liked to
本は
read.
読まないの？
Sulking, I rubbed my hand.
本なら読むぞ
Sure, I read.
参
Only
考書と
boring
かい
shit
う
like
ク
reference
ソつ
books.
まんねえもんをな
じゃあ
What about when you were a
子供の頃は？
kid? What did you
ど
read
んな
back
本を読ん
then?
だ？
もう
I
覚え
don't
てない
remember. Well then.
なら思い出
I
して。
locked it off from my mind palace.
Well, try.
それがヒン
This
ト
is
に
your
なる
way
の
of
かよ
giving me a hint.
さあ、
Who
なる
knows?
かもしれな
Maybe
い
it
し、
is.
な
Maybe
ら
it
ないかも
isn't.
ね。
なんだそれ
Alright, smartass.
Depends if you had dreams from when you were a child of where your life would go.
True.
Or not, I guess.
答えが分かれば
Once you know
分
the
かるよ。
answer, it will make some sense. Or make sense, rather.
That's
答えが
always the
分かって
best
ないから
part.
困ってるんじゃねえか
Where if you get the answer right, or if someone tells you the answer, you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah. If I knew the answer, I wouldn't need your hints.
やっぱり
Look, how
頭
are
が
you so
悪い。
dumb? Ah, he smacked me again. Then, the next night,
The next night, he came out with the beautiful mind answer sheet board as he tried to explain his answer.
nope, wrong answer.
What did he answer?
And again, Yoshi had failed to bring me the right answer. I want to know what he said. Game.
He's just gonna start going through the entire dictionary and just bringing up every word in there.
That would be funny. At least the answer is dreams, so it wouldn't take him that long, all things considered.
He would have to go cantaloupe before he gets to dreams.
Yeah.
Let's be real here.
Yeah.
There'd be some real nonsense answers there.
I mean, the first one would be A, so...
Exactly.
鈍いね。
You're so
漁師
dense, Huntsman.
こういう
You're
のは
not
苦
good
手
at
なん
the
だよ
stuff, Rory. That's an understatement.
頭が硬いんだよ。
You're trying too hard.
もっと柔
You
軟
need to
に考
think
えな
outside
き
the
ゃ。
box.
Or inside the box. We don't care at this
Yeah.
point.
Outside the box, he says. I still want to know what he answered that was wrong.
The box always looks smaller from the outside.
And so, the nights passed as Yoshi struggled to solve my riddle. It wasn't exactly exciting, but anything was preferable to the nights I spent here alone.
漁師は
Has your
妹に
sister
せ
ever
がまれ
begged you to
て
read her a
本を
bedtime
読んであげ
story?
たことない？
Then one night, after we talked about the riddle, he asked yet another question about his sister.
また妹
Another
の話
question
か
about my damn sister.
また妹の
Yep,
話だ。
another question. He looked utterly aggravated. To be fair, I had asked him questions about her every single night since he first mentioned her, so I could understand the irritation. But I couldn't help it. I needed to ask. Unfortunately, he didn't seem to have figured it out yet.
別にそんなこともなかったな。
She never really asked for that.
前に言っただろ。
Like I said, there's an age
年が
gap
離れ
between
てる
us,
上に、
so I haven't really talked to
そ
her
もそもあい
much.
つとはあまり会話を交わしたこともなかった。
でも
And yet you
妹
know
が
that
本
she
を好き
likes
だっ
to
たこ
read.
とは知ってたんでしょ？きっと
I bet if I
君の
asked her
妹
the
な
riddle,
ら
she would have
すぐに
answered right
答えられ
away.
たよ。
He didn't seem to appreciate the comparison, because he scowled slightly. This was a feeling I could relate to painfully hard. Because I didn't like being compared to others either.
漁師は
You're not
俺と似
like
て
me,
るんだよ。
huntsman. You hate the color red,
赤いものが
and
嫌
you
い
come
な
to
こと
resent
も
your fairy tale
アリス
protagonist.
にコンプレックスを抱いていることも。
意味がわから
I
ね
don't
え
get
な。
what you're talking about. And you're quick to lie too. Sadly, like all good things, our fun times together eventually came to an end.
As we all grew old and died, as Huntsman tried to figure out. Oh wait, he might have got it. One second.
I finally figured it out. One night, it finally happened.
それは誰にでも持てる
Something
もの。
anyone may possess,
だ
but
け
the
ど
moment you obtain
手に
it,
入
it
れれば一
ceases to
瞬で消えて
exist.
しまう。それは誰に
Anyone
で
can
も
have
見える
one,
も
but
の。
when you open your eyes,
だ
it
け
will
ど
vanish without a
目
trace.
を開ければ跡形もなくなくなってしまう。答え
The
は
answer is a
夢
dream.
だ。
Good job, buddy. Took you long
Oh my
enough.
god! The brain cell!
He finally
It's
got
firing.
there.
Quick, we need like air horns and fireworks and shit.
I know there's an air horn thing on this soundboard. Yeah.
Woo! I'm not sure if they'll hear that, but woo!
They should, because I have all of Discord's audio being captured. Anyways. Correct.
This man just fought his way through an entire thesaurus of words, trying to find the one word,
Yeah.
and he is acting like it is the most difficult thing he's ever had to do in his life.
Yeah. I guess now that I think about it, like, going back to, like, him going through the entire dictionary, dream in Japanese is yume, so that's actually very far.
Oh, okay, that makes much more sense.
Well, at least that's definitely not what he did, hopefully. We don't know how many days have passed.
Well, he wouldn't limit himself to one a day. He would be like, I have an entire list of words here. We're going to go through them one at a time.
Yeah. Having finally guessed correctly, Roshi heaved a giant sigh of relief and shrank down into a little ball.
よくわかったね。
I'm impressed you finally got it. I thought you never would.
嘘つけ。
Liar. He grumbled up at me. Normally, he was always looking down at me, so this made for a nice change of pace.
お前はずっと
You were giving me
俺に
hints the
ヒン
whole
トを
damn
くれてた
time,
んだ
weren't
な。
you? His voice carried a tiny hint of amusement.
お前が何を考えてるかわからないが。
So rude.
約束は約束。
Why?
これでもうガキが夜遅く
I
出歩
must.
くんじゃね
I
えぞ。
must he. I think Spooky's out the door. That's why. This is all your fault, Spooky. I don't know why you had me do this, but a promise is a promise, kid. You better stop coming out here by yourself at night.
漁師はな
Huntsman,
ぜこんな子
why do you
供
think
が
a kid like me is
夜
out
に
here
出
so
歩いてる
late?
と思ってる？
I couldn't let myself cling to him.
また問いかけか。
What is this?
いい
Another
加減。
riddle? Give me a...
家にいたく
Because
ない
you
か
don't
ら
want to be at home, right?
そうだ。
Right. Just
漁
like
師と
you.
一緒だよ。
I couldn't let myself ask for his help. If I cared about him at all, I was better off cutting ties entirely.
親に
Is it your
何か
parents?
されてんの
If
か
they're hurting you or something.
そうだったら
Ryoshi about to do a surprise adoption here.
Right, like he's about to throw hands.
He's about like, I'm gonna go there, beat up your mom.
Yeah. No. My voice came out unusually sharp.
俺が
That's my fault.
母様と
I
の約
disobeyed
束を
my
破った
mother.
んだ。
She told me not to go outside.
外に出て
But
は
I
いけ
didn't
ないって
listen.
言われてたのに。俺は
I'm a bad
悪い
kid.
子なんだよ。
It's no wonder mother hates me now.
母様に嫌われてもしょうがない。
お前の母
Where's your
は
mom
どこ
right
に
now? At
家
home?
か
そうだよ。
Yeah.
ちしょうがね
Let's
え
go.
行くぞ
Then she rose to his feet and offered me his hand.
どこへ？
Go where?
お前の家
To
だ
your
よ
house.
このご時世
I know it's rude to barge
よ
into
そ
a
様の家
stranger's
のこ
home
と
in
に
this
突っ
day
込む
and
のは良
age.
くないと思って
But
た
at
が
this point, you can't pretend this doesn't concern me.
最後まで付き合うぞ
Time to throw hands with
確かに
mom.
約
Let's
束を破っ
go.
たのは
Yeah,
Worry
you
こと
probably
かも
should
しれ
have
ないが
obeyed your mother. But for
少なくと
whatever
も
it's worth.
俺
I
は
don't
お
think
前
you're
が
a bad
悪い
kid
やつ
at
だなんて
all.
思わない
No.
本当に
But
俺が
what if
悪
it
かっ
turns
た
out I am?
その時は
Then I'll shoulder the blame
俺
right
が
along
一緒
with
に
you.
謝ってやる
No. Huntsman is such a good boy. I can't wait till we date him.
It might be a while though.
Yeah, it will, but still. I rose to my feet without his assistance.
怪物と戦う者は
Whoever fights with
その
monsters
過程
should
で
see to it that he does not
自
become
分
a
自身も
monster
怪
in the
物になること
process.
のないように気
Or
を
if
つ
you
けな
gaze
くては
long enough into an abyss, the abyss will gaze back
深淵を
into
覗く
you.
とき
Hell
深淵
yeah.
もまたこち
What?
な
Where
ん
did
だ
that
急に
come from?
Dante's Inferno.
知らない
I'm not joking.
漁師からもらった本に書
You
いてあ
don't
った言
recognize
葉
it?
だよ
It's a quote from that book you gave me.
You gave him Dante's Inferno.
あ
No,
あそうい
come
え
to
ば
think of it,
そんなことも書いてあった
does
よう
sound
な気が
vaguely
するな
familiar. So,
で
what about it?
それがなんだ
漁師は優しす
You're
ぎる
too
んだよ
nice to me, Huntsman. I couldn't drag him down with me. Despite all his nagging, he was a kind person deep down, and if he learned the truth, he'd regret ever speaking to me.
おい
Hey, where are
ど
you?
こに
おいでよ
Come on,
Yoshi.
Huntsman. It's time for you to
正解を
receive
当て
your
たご褒
prize.
美だ今から
I'm going to show you
俺の
my
秘密を
secret.
見せてあげる
Okay, maybe it's not Dante's Inferno. It's
Yokoso.
Friedrich
俺の
Nietzsche
家へ
quote.
What now?
It's Friedrich Nietzsche quote.
Close enough, I guess.
I was gonna say it's German.
I see.
But let's see, where is that from? What is the famous abyss quote?
While you do that. Welcome
Yeah.
to my home.
この家を訪れ
You're
た
my
のは
first visitor we've
漁
ever
師が
had.
初めてだよ
これ
Oh
は
my, does it? As soon as I opened the door, Yoshi started to gag. No surprise there. I was used to it since I lived here, but for a visitor, it was probably a bit too much. After all, the whole house reeked of garbage and decay. I never wanted anyone to have to see this, but a promise was a promise.
Yeah, Spooky, that one. Anyway, I found the book.
Yeah.
It's Beyond Good and Evil.
I see.
It's a philosophy book.
And he just gave that to a kid. Nice.
And more importantly, the kid understood it, so like,
I mean,
damn.
he's a smart kid, so that doesn't
He is a
surprise
smart
me.
kid.
But like, damn, of all books, he's like, I don't need this anymore. Here you go. It's a philosophy
Could've-
book.
I must have got that confused with a Dante's Inferno quote, because holy shit, I
Yeah.
was so convinced.
Yeah. I'm home, Mother. I brought a friend with me today.
Oh, here we go, corpse.
As we walked inside, I called out to my mother, sleeping in the living room. Naturally, I would need to introduce her to my new friend. Are you? And she froze on the spot. His face was as white as a sheet.
She's
Don't
dead,
stop.
son.
What's wrong?
早くこっちに
Get
来
over
なよ
here already. Upon closer inspection, I realized his legs were shaking. No surprise there either. After all, she had a weak stomach when it came to this sort of thing.
Oh.
So, I really didn't blame her
Blood.
for feeling frightened.
お前は
Have you lost your mind?
正気なのか
His voice trembled.
漁師は変なこ
I'm
とを
not
言
sure
うん
what
だ
you're
ね
talking about, Huntsman. Hard to lose something I didn't have to begin with. I mean... Ever since the day I discovered the truth, I realized that my entire existence was a mistake.
ねえ母様
Mother? I called out to her as she slept. Naturally, she didn't answer.
それは
What's that? And she struggled to find his voice.
母様だよ
This is my mother,
俺の
my only family.
たった一人の母親だ
What?
Has he just been eating trash? Like, that apple pie can't be fresh if she's dead.
Oh yeah, definitely not. Pretty sure he has been.
Gross.
His expression twisted. And when he stared at us, you would think he was looking at some kind of hideous monster. I mean, it is a corpse, so
母様
A decaying corpse.
彼
yeah.
はアリス漁師って言うんだ
Mother, this is Yoshi
母様
Arisu.
が大好きな物語
Doesn't
の
his name
主
remind
人
you
公
of
の
your
名
favorite
前
fairy
と
tale
同じだよ
protagonist?
Alice, I get it. Arisu.
漁師には妹が
He
いる
has a
ん
little
だ
sister too. I just know you'd like her.
母様が見た
Even
ら
I
喜
can
ぶ
tell
と
she
思
looks
う
like
よ
a princess.
だって彼女は俺から見てもお姫様のようだったから
ちょっと待て
Hold on a minute. Yoshi shouted.
よく聞け
Now listen here.
それはお前
That
の
may
母
have
親
been
だ
your
ったかもし
mother
れ
at
ないが
one point,
今は
but not
違う
anymore.
It's a corpse.
It's not.
お前がいく
You
ら
can talk to it all you want,
返
but
事
it
は
won't
しない
talk back.
Just tell him it's a body.
お前の母
There
親
it
じゃ
is.
な
Because that's not a person. It's a corpse.
体だ
It's no longer human.
Not this. I carefully examined my mother. There was no sign of her former beauty beneath all this ugliness.
しっか
So she's dead, huh?
ねえ漁師
Say, Huntsman,
死
what
とい
is
うも
death
のは何だろ
anyway?
う
Huntsman has come to an important crossroads and he must answer carefully.
Yeah.
確かに
I mean, sure.
美し
She's
かっ
not
た母は
beautiful
もういない
anymore,
けれど
but in my heart,
自分の
she's
記
still
憶には
pretty.
美しかった頃の母が
She still loves me.
優しかった頃の母が今もありありとしているそれでも
So,
母
can
様
you
は
truly
死んでい
say
る
that
と
she's
思う
dead?
In your heart of hearts, she is perfectly alive. As part of the medical record, I have to put corpse.
Yeah.
当たり前だ
I'm right again.
どんなに人の記憶に
You
残
may
って
have
る
your
としても
memories of her, but without a living body of her own, she's not
生きてることに
alive.
ならないんだよ
I laughed through my nose. Classic Roshi.
器がなければ
If you need
生き
your
て
own
いる
body
こと
to
にな
count
ら
as
ないという
alive,
のなら
then maybe I'm dead too.
俺も本当は死んでいるのかもしれないね
No, you're very much alive.
何
What are you even? What's then? I spotted the apple pie on the table.
そうだ
I know.
母様が
We
作
can
って
share
くれ
the
た
apple pie
アップル
mother
パ
made
イがあ
for
るん
me.
だ
Want some?
漁師も食べる
Alright, Ryoshi, tell me what it is, please. I've been curious.
This pie was her specialty. But now it was...
Moldy!
Stop!
Yamero!
Don't do it! I ignored his warnings and took a bite. No matter how many times I try, I'll never get used to this taste. I mean...
I mean, it's moldy.
With each bite, I fought the urge to puke. But ultimately, my stomach rejected it anyway, as it fucking should.
Yeah.
Tears blurred my vision.
まあ、こんな
I
もの
guess I
食
can't
べら
eat
れ
it
ないよ
anymore.
ね。
After all, this apple pie was as rotten as my mother's corpse.
Gross.
こっちに来
Come
い
with me. The next thing I knew, Yoshi grabbed me by the arm. Considering how frightened he was, I was surprised he was still trying to protect me.
ダメだよ。
Well, because this is fucked up, man.
Yeah. I can't. With a smile, I shook my head.
漁師も分かっただろ
Now
う。
do you understand? I lost my sanity a long time ago.
Oh, and he's staying here because he's like, oh, I need to respect my mother's wishes and stay in the house. And oh my god, this is just completely fucked.
Mm-hmm.
そんなこ
It's
と
not.
Who killed
Who killed
mother?
mother?
俺だよ。
It was me.
俺が
killed
母様を
mother.
殺したんだ。
Elaborate.
The day I disobeyed her and went outside, I came back to find her staring at me with cold, unfeeling eyes. A chill ran down my spine. Then my heart began to pound, and my palms started to sweat.
No, I'm pretty sure that was the people she owed a debt to, honestly.
I put a hand on her shoulder and called out to her, but she didn't move a muscle, and her body felt like ice. I couldn't believe it. I refused to believe it. But real life was not that merciful. It was weak and powerless to do anything. In the end, Snow White was neither a princess nor a prince.
それでも、
With that in mind,
まだ
Do you
漁師は
still want
俺を
to help
助けたいと思う。
Yes.
当たり
you're
前だ
damn right I do.
どんな
What
事情があっ
part
た
of
か
his
知らない
character
が
made you think he was gonna say no?
Right?
お
I
前を
don't know
悪
what
い奴だ
happened
とは
here.
思わない
But like I said earlier, I don't think you're a bad kid.
確かに
Yes, you have a foul mouth and an attitude
態度
problem.
もそっけなくて
Yes, you're a fickle little brat.
本当に可愛げのないガキ
Honesty,
ガ
great
キは
place to
嫌いだ
start.
し
I never liked
Oh my,
kids,
話して
and
ても
talking
そ
to
れ
you
は変わら
hasn't
ない
changed that. Honestly, valid.
でもな
But the more time I
俺もお
spend
前
with
と会う
you,
たびに
the more fun I
だんだ
started
んと
to
お前と一
have.
緒にいると
No.
楽しいって思うようになったんだよ
I love how brutally honest Huntsman is.
Yeah.
そりゃ
It's great.
お前が人のことを思い
Because
や
you're
れ
a
る
good person who
いい
cares
やつだ
about
からに決
others.
まってんだろ
Why else?
お前は
You're always
いつ
thinking
で
of
も
other
人のことを
people.
気にかけて
You
い
care
るんだ
about me. And you even care about a little girl you've never even
会った
met.
こともない妹のこともな俺は
But I'm a
年は
monster.
離れてはいるが
You know,
お前のことを
despite our
友人
age
だと思ってい
difference,
る
I come to think of you as a friend.
弟
Or
み
like
た
a
いに
little
思ってる
brother. No.
お前に何があっ
I
た
don't
の
know
か
what you've been through,
俺には
but
分
at the
からな
very
い
least, I can hear you out.
だがな話を聞くこと
ありがとう。
Thanks.
俺も
I think of you as a friend
漁師
too.
のことを友人だと思っているよ。
He was the first and only person to acknowledge me as an individual.
漁師は
He said
漁
you're
師の
not
仕
fit to
事
be
に
a
向いてい
hunter,
ないと言って
but I
いたけ
think
ど
you might be wrong about that.
俺は向いてると思ったよ。漁師は無
Sure,
神経だ
you're
し、
tactless,
無縁
outspoken,
だし、
nosy, and utterly dense.
鈍感
But you
だけ
carry
ど
yourself with conviction and a strong sense of compassion.
人の弱さを知っている。何も
Living with
血を見
integrity.
るだけが
It's not
漁
like
師
a
の仕
hunter's
事じゃ
entire
ないし
job
ね
is to look up blood all day, right?
だったら
Then just... I shook my head and stepped away from him.
だけど
Sorry to say,
残念だ。
I'm going to die here.
俺は今
あ
Falls over.
What are
何
you?
言って
I picked up a piece of the apple pie on the table.
これはなんだかわかる？
Do you know what this is?
毒
It's my
リンゴ。
poison apple.
有名な童話
You
に
know,
あるだろう。
like in the fairy tale with the princess as
白
white
い
as
雪み
snow.
たいなお姫様の
Surely
話。
even you must know that one.
いくら
Nah, I
漁師
think
で
I
も
skipped a few chapters
そ
on
れ
that
くらい
one.
は知ってるだろう。
She was one of my mother's favorite princesses. And she was my namesake.
まあ、
And then again,
俺は男だから
so I can't
お
be a
姫様じゃないけ
princess.
どね。
Never say never.
In the fairy tale, the queen transforms into an old hag to give Snow White an apple. When she takes a bite, she falls to the floor and never opens her eyes again.
Okay, you might have skipped a few chapters then.
Poor, sweet princess. Rejected by her own mother.
これを食べれば
With one bite,
白雪とい
Snow
う
White will
存在
cease
は
to
いなくなる。
exist.
いなくなるって
Cease to exist. Yoshi scoffed. He didn't seem to understand what I meant. Then he took a step forward.
近づくな
Stay back. He froze in place. Come to think of it, this was quite possibly the loudest I ever shouted in my entire life. I looked him in the eyes and spoke, my voice perfectly calm.
これでよかったんだ
This is for the best. As long as I'm around, everyone who
俺以
isn't
外の
me
誰
will
か
be
を
miserable.
不幸にさせてしまう。俺
Okay,
が
so
こ
now
の
we're
辛
getting
い
into
気
the
持ちを引き
deeper
受けること
mental
で
trauma here.
他の誰か
If
が
I can shoulder the
楽にな
burden
れ
of
る
these
のなら
painful memories so
それ
no
でいい
one else has to, then so be it.
漁師
Huntsman,
今までありが
thank
と
you
う
for everything.
少
Our
しの
time
間だった
together
け
was
ど
short, but I
楽
had
しかっ
fun.
たよ漁師のおかげで
Thanks to you. I now have some happy memories of my own. Memories I don't
俺
have
だけ
to
が知っ
share.
ている楽しい記憶が増えたタバコ
And about the
気づい
cigarettes,
てたよ
I figured it out.
漁師はさ
You hate smoking, but you
自
do
分が
it
両親
anyway,
と
so
似
you
てい
have
な
at
い
least
から
one thing in common with
好
your
きでもない
parents,
タバコを吸って
right?
Damn, you're right.
一生懸命
Yeah, let's
捨てようと
go!
して
I'm
るん
good
だ
at reading in between the lines for characters. It's actually a little bit of a problem, but I digress.
どんな自分でも
You want to prove
自
to the
分は
world
本
that you
当の
really
子
are
供
their
なんだっ
son.
て認めてほしかったんだよねその気持ち
Just
は
me.
わかるよ
I can relate,
だって
because I feel the
俺
same
も
way.
同じだから
I wanted her to see me as me. Not as a princess or prince, but as Snow White.
君
And
の
now you'll
妹
never get that chance.
Oh,
彼女
and
に
your sister.
一度会ってみたかったな
I wish I could have met her.
Reiki mentioned for the first time this episode. Damn, we're like an hour in.
Yeah, you haven't had shit to read. It's just been me.
I know. I've
Maybe
just
we
been
would have been
sitting
fine
here.
doing this last week. A princess I never knew. A princess with pretty eyes. Every time Yoshi told me about her, my curiosity deepened. She was the fairy tale protagonist my mother always wanted.
Yeah, because last week you'd just be reading, I'd be like, haha, Apple mentioned.
Bye bye. And with that, I took a bite of the apple pie.
Ew.
The poison coursed through my body and consumed my consciousness.
白雪
Snow White! And she screamed my name. No one else had ever called me that. Not even my mother.
I think it's also the first time he's called him that. Damn.
Yeah.
Because usually it's like, hey, kid.
Yeah. As I began to black out, his voice slowly faded. Blood made him uncomfortable, yet he approached me nonetheless. I wanted to reach out to him, but I couldn't. My body refused to cooperate.
Maybe because you just put it into fucking shock.
And then everything went dark.
Also, apple seeds have cyanide in them. If there's a chance that it could have been more potent because it was rotten apples.
I mean, the seeds only have so much cyanide, though.
True.
Like, it would have to be an apple seed pie.
True. There's so much disgusting stuff in that pie, though.
I mean, yeah, like mold and more mold.
And probably a couple bugs, let's be honest here.
Yeah, big old moth, maybe. Where am I?
Yo.
There. It's him. Again. So,
漁師
we have the Reikyu border, but still no Reikyu.
Shh. It's It's fine.
Huntsman?
久しぶりに目覚
How
め
does
た
it
気分
feel to
はどう
finally
だ
be awake? Where is she?
彼女は
彼女って
She who?
誰のことだ
君の妹のことだよ。
Wow, he just woke up and he's already on the whole sister thing.
Yep.
Wow.
Thank you. He ran out too, damn.
He's just running around. Oh, good morning, Snow White. Breakfast is ready.
君は
Are,
君は
are you the real Reikyu
本当
Arisu?
のアリス。
Yep, in the flesh.
じゃあ
Then that
夢
means
の
the
中で
Reikyu
あった
Arisu
アリ
from
ス
my
は
dream
もう
is already. Aww.
Aww.
Pat's in
Not
with
his
my
dream
cursor.
girl being his reflection. Why are you crying?
だって
I can't help it.
俺が夢から
Now that I'm
目覚めたら
And
彼
it's
女
just
は消えてし
gone.
まう。
No, she's you, bitch.
本物じゃなかったか
I
も
know
し
she
れないけ
wasn't
ど
real. Or maybe she was partly
本
real.
物だったかも
But
しれない
she's
け
the
ど
one I spent all those nights
それ
with.
も
True.
俺が今まで話していたのは夢の中のアリス。
Meanwhile, everybody's just like, Snow, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What happens? So you fell in love with the Reikyu in your dreams, huh?
Yeah.
そうだよ。
So tell me. You always said you wanted to meet me in person, right? So why didn't you ever summon me as a character in your story?
それは
Oh.
I know you could have. All you would have had to do was turn the mirror and ask. One can say that a dream is a reproduction or recreation of our memories. In most cases, the people and places that appear in your dreams are taken wholesale from your past. Dreams can't give you knowledge you didn't already have, but they can use your past experience to create something new, right? I mean, your mom and my brother were there, right? So if you wanted to see me so badly, why was I left out?
俺が君を登場させなかったのは
I didn't summon you because I was
多分
scared.
怖かったからだ。
You are my perfect princess, after all.
君は俺にとって憧れ。俺は君のことを知
Sure, I
って
knew
いる
about
けど、
you, but it was
そ
only
れは人から
secondhand
聞かされた知
knowledge.
識に過ぎない。俺は
I never
君
actually
と実際
spoken
に
to you,
話したこともなけ
much
れ
less
ば
seen you in person.
見たこともない。芸能人と一緒だ
It
よ。
was a parasocial relationship.
画面越しに
I
君
knew
と
you
いう存在
existed
がいて、
somewhere out there, but
確
you
かに自
were
分と
never
同
a
じ世
direct
界
part
に
of
い
my
ることを
life.
知っているけど、友達にも
I could be your friend. I couldn't be your friend, much less your
恋人にもな
boyfriend.
るんだ。
Well then, what's the harm of being friends with me in your dreams?
それは
You
嫌だったん
couldn't
だ。
risk it.
俺は
You didn't want to idealize you.
君を美化することは嫌だった。きっと
Fair.
Sure.
こ
It
んな
would
性
be all
格
too
で
easy to
こん
imagine
な
what
風
you
に
would
振る
wear,
舞う
or
だろう。
how would you would act,
想像
how
する
you
の
would
は
act.
簡
I can
単だ。
read.
でもそうすると
What
What's
if
reading?
I did that?
君
Then I
の
would
真
fall
実
in
の
love with
姿
a
を知
version
ら
of
ずに
you that didn't really
美
exist.
化した君を好きになってしまう。そうなると
At which point, if
実
I
際
ever
に
met
君
the
と会った
real
時
you, I'd just be
現実の
disappointed.
君に
True,
It's
never
just
meet your
welcome.
heroes, guys.
おかしいよ
Funny,
ね。
isn't it? I was
俺は二
planning
度と
never
目
to
覚めない
wake
つ
up
もりでいた
again.
の。
But here he had a wish that he wanted to meet someone in the real life.
俺は
Maybe I was
君にい
always
つか会え
hoping,
るかもしれ
deep
ないと
down, that I'd get the
無
chance
意
to
識
meet
に
you
思
for
っていたの
real.
かもしれない。
Well, hi. You did. You met the real, non-idolized Reikyu Arasu.
夢の中で
Yeah.
ね。
In my dream. Snow. Look in front of you.
Hello?
知ってるよ。
I know you've been calling out to me all this time.
ずっと外側から語りかけていたんだって。だから
That's probably why you
俺は
showed
夢
up
の
in my
中で
dream.
君に出会えたんだ。
Just one night. Gay, gay, homosexual, gay. What did you think of Dream Me, anyhow?
見た目はおとなしい
At
のに
first glance, she seemed
お
mature,
現場でよく喋っ
but I
て
soon discovered she was a rowdy, chatty tomboy.
とても魅力的
She
な
was
女
very
の子だったよ。
charming.
Do I seem any different from her?
違わないよ。
Not really. But you don't have the most important thing.
肝心なところが全然
Apple
違う。
pie. What's that?
思い出だ
Her
よ。
memories. I mean,
君
Fair.
it's the only thing she has that you don't.
彼女にはあるもの。そして
And it was those memories that
Some
made me
思い出
fall
こそ
for
が
her.
彼女を好きになった理由だ。夢の中の出来
But
事
then
の
again,
思い出というの
Maybe
は
normal people wouldn't count a dream
少し
as a
妙な気もす
memory.
るけれどね。
What are you laughing about?
どうして笑ってるの？
I'm just happy to hear that you love me. Rest assured, I'm still the same Reikyu Arasu you knew. You sleep talk, by the way.
どういうこ
What do you
と？
mean?
夢はまだ
The
続
dream
いて
isn't
るっ
over
てこ
yet.
とだ。
Yeah, because the kitchen is still in the same, like,
Oh, it's still
wages.
flip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
謎かけは得意な
I
んじゃな
thought
か
you
っ
were
た
good
か
at riddles.
漁師。
Huntsman. Normally I'm good at that,
得意だけ
but
ど
my head is a little fuzzy right
今
now.
は
We're
少し
taking you off
頭が
life
ぼんやり
support.
してるんだ。
Well, you only just woke up.
目覚めた。
If I woke up, then
やっぱり
this must be real
あ
life,
現実なんじゃ。
right?
夢が続いてい
What
る
else
な
could
ら
I wake up from
何
if
から
not
目
a
覚めたって
dream?
言うんだよ。
A dream within a
Dude.
dream.
Do you have time for us to explain the plot of Inception to you?
Have you ever had a dream within a dream?
A couple times, and it's never pleasant.
Yeah, no.
Because it's just like you wake up, you realize you're still in a dream, and you're like, fuck!
Yeah,
悪夢から
from the nightmare. Okay.
The nightmare!
What nightmare?
白雪
Do you have time for us to explain Kirby lore to you?
Snow White, you've been living in a nightmare all this time.
6年前
6 weeks
お前は
ago,
魔
you
法の
peered
鏡
into a
を覗い
magic
てしまっ
mirror.
6 weeks? I don't know. That's a weird way to spell weeks.
Listen here. 6 years ago, you peered into a magic mirror.
た。そして真実を知っ
And that was when you discovered the truth.
た。なぜ
You
自分
realized
が
why your
母親
mother
に嫌わ
hated
れ
you.
てしまったのか。なぜ
And you realized what
Bumsigi
those
no
strange
yumi.
dreams really were. Give me a break. You've been doing a lot of reading.
He was like 10 when he fell asleep.
それは自身
This
の
was
アイデン
enough
テ
to
ィティ
shake
を
the
揺るがす
foundation
ほ
of
ど
your entire
大きな
identity.
ものだった。お前は口は悪
You
い
may
が
have a foul mouth,
いい
but you're
やつだ。
still a good kid.
お前は人の気持ちが分か
And
るから
because you care about others,
時に自分
you're
を
often
犠牲
willing
に
to
して
sacrifice yourself to
相手を
put them
優先してし
first.
まう。真実を知ったお前は
When you learned the truth,
辛く
you
て
took all
苦し
those
い記憶と
painful,
感情を
unbearable memories
一人
and
で
went to
抱え
sleep
込ん
with
だまま
them.
眠りにつくこと。俺としては
Personally, I wanted to
お前が
respect
それ
the
でいい
choice
な
you
ら
made.
いいと思っていた。眠ることで
Your sleeping would help you endure
嫌
the
なことに
pain,
蓋できる
and
の
I
だ。
felt it was the right call.
それも正しい選択だと思った。 それじゃあ
But I knew it wouldn't
何も
truly
解決し
solve
ないことも
anything.
分かっていながら
Then
な
I got bored.
白雪
Snow White. Sleeping
ただ
won't
眠
heal
っ
your
てるだけ
wounded
では
heart.
心の傷は治らないんだよ。夢の中でも
That's why
食
you
事
could
が
never
取れな
read
かったのは
anything
そ
in
のせ
your
いだ。
dream.
お前はトラウマを
You
抱
have
え
a
たまま
serious emotional trauma,
夢は
and it turned your
悪夢
dream
に
into
変
a
わってしまう。
nightmare.
そんなお前の心を
There's
救
only
う
one way to truly
ただ一
heal
つ
your
の方
heart.
法。
Trauma processing.
それは
And that was to
お前が会いたい
introduce
と
you to
願
the
っていた
princess you've always
運
longed to
命のお
meet.
姫様に
That's
出会
not
Or
う
trauma.
that,
That's not
the
trauma
complete-
processing.
I was gonna say that's the opposite of trauma
Yeah.
processing. That is trauma inducing.
Cover it up with a band-aid.
でも普通
Normally,
なら
this
それ
would
は
have
叶わ
been
ない。
wouldn't have been possible.
なぜ
But
な
we're
ら
hunters.
お前
After
は
all,
眠ってい
you
る
were
から
asleep.
けど彼女は
But she made the impossible
不可能を
possible.
可能に変えた。言わなくても
No
今は
need to
わか
spell
る
it out for me. I can tell.
鏡を
You used the mirror.
利用したんだね。それ
In my memories of
俺の中にある
Reikyu Arisu.
アリスの記憶も。
ああそうだ
Yep, you guessed it.
鏡
The
はお
same
前を
mirror
不
that
幸に
ruined
させ
your
たけ
life
ど
just saved it.
お前を救ってくれた。
Eh?
なぜ
I
救
think
わ
I
れたはず
understand
の
why
俺
I'm
が
still dreaming.
まだ夢を
Even
見てい
after
るの
Reikyu saved me.
なんと
It's
な
all
く
the
わかった。
poison.
きっと
The real me must
本当の
still
俺
be
が
asleep.
まだ眠ったままなんだね。俺はいつの
And
間に
at some
か
point, I must have
夢の
fallen
中で
asleep in my
夢を見て
dream
いた。
too.
だから
That's why I couldn't read any new
新しい物語が
stories.
読めなかったんだ。とりあえず
I can understand the
理屈
logic,
は分かっ
at
た。
least.
He was running a computer that was in sleep mode.
夢はまだ続いてい
If
ると
I'm
いう
still
ことは
dreaming, then I guess you
ここ
two
にい
aren't
る漁師
real.
も君も
Huh.
Oh no, we're real. We found a way to bust in Game Buster style.
なら
Am I still just looking
俺
into
は
the
まだ
mirror?
鏡を見ているの？
About that, why don't we step outside, Snow White?
ん
Meet all the cast and crew and camera crew.
Oh dear.
これ
Ah,
は
cute. Mata.
人がたくさん
There's
い
so
る。
many people.
どうして
How?
Because you let me into your heart. Just kidding. Man, I wish. Snow White, you have a lot more memories than you realize. You just don't remember them. You know the world is full of light, full of people. After all, you love to read about it. So how's it feel, being outside?
とても
Really good.
気持ちがいい。
Trust me, the real world is even better.
でも
But
そう
if I
したら
actually
今
wake
度こそ
up, you really will disappear.
本当に君は消えてしまう。
Yeah, probably. And when you wake up, you'll see the real me. Will you stop loving me?
それはあ
Not
りえない。
possible.
俺は
I'm crazy about you.
君のことが好きだよ。
I've yearned to see you all this
Stop
time.
ずっと憧れていたんだ。
But that's not the same as love. Thank you, that's infatuation.
俺が君に恋したのは
I didn't actually
夢
fall
の
in
中
love
で
with
君
you
と出会ってか
until
ら
I
だ。
met you in my dream.
Remember what I told you? Love and being in love are not the same thing. Love is selfless.
Yeah, I
覚えてい
remember.
るよ。どんな欠点でも
Love accepts all your
ど
flaws
んな
and
に
ugly
憎い部
parts
分でも
as part of a package deal.
包み込むものだろう。
Right.
君は夢から覚めて
And you
も
promise to stay by my side
俺
and
のそ
love
ばにい
me,
て
dream or no
俺
dream.
のことを好きになってくれる。
Yes. Even after the dream ends, I'll still love you.
だから
So,
俺
you
も
want me
君
to
を
love you back?
愛
No,
せ
that would be wanting something that's not love. If possible.
簡単
You
に
make
言う
it
よね。
sound easy,
そ
but
れって
it's really not.
実はすごく難しいことだよ。
Yeah, I know. So I won't beg you to.
わかった。
Alright then.
俺は夢から覚め
Even
ても
after the dream is
君
over,
のそば
I'll
にい
stay
て
by your side and fall in love with
君
you
のことを
all
好きに
over
なる。
again.
君
Or
を
file for a divorce.
Because
愛し
I
てる
love
から。
you.
Cool.
So like in the Japanese Snow White said like specifically Aishuru, which you probably hear a lot in anime, but like in actuality you wouldn't say that unless you're like married to someone. And then Grey Q just says, cool. Just please.
The funny thing is, I also made a comment about getting divorced too. and I
Yeah.
was just like, cool. Totally tubular.
あ、
I'm hungry.
お腹が空いた。
Guys, this is plot development.
Yeah.
Snow is hungry.
Let's go.
Let's go back and get you some breakfast. Since we're all eating it together, I bet it'll taste great. You like apple pie, right?
Yeah,
そうだね。アリス、
you know, thank you.
君の作った料理
I've
が
always wanted to eat your home
食べ
cooking.
たかったんだ。
Well, that'll have to wait. You'll have to settle for the dream version.
Wizard.
リンゴは禁断の
They
果
say
実
the
でもある
apple
と
is
言
the
われている
forbidden fruit,
禁断の果
and the
実とは
forbidden fruit is also known as the fruit of knowledge.
知恵の木の実を
By
食べ
eating
る
it,
と
one is said to
神々に
attain
等しき
God's
善
knowledge
悪の
of
知識を
good
得
and
ることが
evil.
できるらしい。すべて
But
を知る
sometimes
ことは
knowing the truth
必ずし
does
も
more
良いこと
harm
では
than
ない。
good.
現に
After
禁
eating
断
the
の果
forbidden
実を食べ
fruit,
たせい
humanity was cast
人
out of
間は楽園を
paradise,
追われることになった。そして
and so
人
we
間は
lost our
必ず死ぬよう
immortality.
になり
The men were given the
男に
burden
は
of
労働の
work.
区域が与えられ
Oh yeah, the burden of work. Okay.
Poor men.
Poor men.
What? Do you feel sorry for me? You're such an angel.
I don't feel sorry for you. You killed us in like 3 separate timelines already.
Yep.
それはさて
Anyway, that aside,
毒リンゴによ
the
って
poison apple
悪夢を
cursed the
見るようにな
prince
った
with
王子様
nightmares, but
お姫様
with the
の
kiss
皮膚
from
に
the
よって救われ
princess,
ま
he
した
was saved.
おめでとう
Congratulations,
Heroine-chan.
little heroine.
いつまでも
May you live happily
ずっ
ever
と幸
after.
せ
Grabs him like the cat in that meme. Now it's your turn.
Now I need someone to add the wizard's face on top of that cat.
Just you get in the dream hole. You want me to read this?
Sure.
Alright. Once upon a time, in the Looking Glass world, there lived a peculiar boy. He was slight of build. I almost said sight. He was slight of build, with skin as white as snow, and lips as red as an apple. He was so beautiful, he looked like a prince from a picture book. No one else could possibly compare. but he was unaware of just how handsome he was. Why? Because he never went into the outside world. The boy lived with his mother in a little cabin in the woods. His mother was a beautiful woman with skin as white as snow, cheeks as red as a rose, and hair as dark as ebony wood. She was a child at heart. She loved flowers, fairy tales, and all things romantic, magical, and sparkly, and her son loved her very much. One day, she said to him, "Now listen here. You're gonna have to watch the house while I'm gone, understand? And if anyone knocks on that door, don't let them in, no matter what." The boy obeyed his mother, stayed inside, and read books all day long. Frills, lace, ribbons, a big castle, pretty dresses. Real life wasn't as fanciful as the picture books, but he was happy living with his mother. One day, his mother took him outside with her for the first time. Everything was new and exciting, and everyone he met was very kind to him. He wondered why he received such special treatment, but when he looked in the mirror, he realized that he and his mother looked very different. From there, everything around him changed. His clean house slowly filled with trash, and his beautiful mother steadily grew more and more weary. And as her beauty faded, she came to resent her son. "Now listen here! You're not like all the other kids. You're a precious angel. That's why you mustn't play outside. The world is filled with wicked wolves, and you can never trust them. So if one of them talks to you, be sure to ignore them. You have to watch the house while I'm gone, understand? And if anyone knocks on the door, don't let them in, no matter what." More than ever, she refused to let her son outside. Meanwhile, the boy continued to obey her and stay home. And yet, whenever she came home from work, she would yell at him. He didn't understand why she was angry at him. He didn't know what had changed her. Eventually, the boy began to have dreams about the outside world. In his dreams, he ran around freely. Then one day, he awoke to find himself outside. He didn't know how he got there. Frightened, he went home. Congrats on the first. But when he got there, he found his mother's haggard corpse. With no one else to turn to, the boy simply continued to live with her dead body. Blech. His favorite treat, apple pie, was sitting on the table, but one bite was enough to make him sick. He was hungry, but he couldn't eat. He was too afraid to eat. Then he sensed someone in the mirror, and when he apprehensively looked over, he found an ugly, grimy boy staring back at him. So he asked the mirror,
Mirror, mirror, on the wall, whose reflection do you hold?
At this, the boy in the mirror replied.
It's me.
Instantly, the boy realized the truth. He realized why his mother never wanted him to leave home, and why she seemed to reject him whenever she laid eyes on him. It was because he wasn't her real child. Unable to bear it, the boy fled from the house. And he washed himself in the lake. As he washed himself in the lake, a young man appeared. When he asked the boy for his name, the boy introduced himself as Snow White. The young man, Ryoshi, was very kind to Snow White. Ryoshi was born with unusual looks, and Snow White felt he could relate. Ryoshi explained that he had a younger sister who, like him, looked different from everyone else. When Snow White saw a picture of her, he thought she looked like a princess from a picture book. After a few days, Snow White confessed everything to Ryoshi and bid him farewell. Snow White was planning to travel deep into the Looking Glass world and never return. And then he took a bite of his mother's apple pie, collapsed to the floor, never to open his eyes again. More than a decade later, Snow White lived a quiet life as the prince of the Looking Glass world, a dream where everything was topsy-turvy. In the dream, his mother loved him, and Ryoshi was there to help him. Now and then he would visit the lake and gazed out at the world under the water, but he had no intention of ever going back. After all, the Looking Glass world reflected everything he wanted to see. He decided he was happier in a world that gave him everything he wanted, even if it was all an illusion. Besides, he knew that nothing good would happen if he returned to the outside world. However, on his way home from the lake one night, he encountered the princess he had seen in his dreams. At first, he was alarmed to see that she had grown up, but as they got to know one another, they discovered the truth about each other. The princess had learned of Snow White through Ryoshi, and so she had manifested in his dream in order to save him. Evidently, she realized that every single person within the Looking Glass world was a mirror reflection of Snow White himself, and so the mirror began to crack. The luxurious mansion transformed into a little cabin full of trash, and the beautiful prince was reduced to an ugly, grimy boy. But he's our ugly, grimy. But the princess didn't care one whit, and so she woke him with a kiss. When he opened his eyes, for some reason, he found he was still dressed as a prince. Hastily, he searched for the princess and soon found her happily making breakfast. Then Ryoshi arrived and explained the situation. When Snow White realized he was still dreaming, he feared that perhaps he was still talking to his own reflection. But the princess took him outside and said, "Even after the dream ends, I'll still love you." And so, with a kiss from the princess, the nightmare turned into a sweet dream, and the prince was saved. Aww. Little guy, his little smile. Oh, hello.
No. I was gonna say after credit scene, but there wasn't a credits still.
Sorry for the wait. Here's the hot fruit punch you ordered.
Thanks.
ありがとう。
Are you sure this is all? There's plenty of other stuff.
うん。
No, it's
これが良
okay.
かったんだ。
This is all I want.
Aww.
確かにアップ
Well, I
ルパイ
do
も好
love
きだ
apple
けど。
pie. Only loved
それ
because
は
my
母
mother
様
would
が
make
俺
it
のた
for
めに
me.
作ってくれたから好きだったに
I
す
mean,
る。
after eating moldy apple pie for a couple years, I'm assuming the taste would get real old real quick anyway.
Yeah.
これは
Likewise.
君が初め
This
て
hot
俺の
fruit
ために
punch is
作っ
the
てく
first
れ
thing
た
you
もの
ever
だろ
made for me. Remember?
だから
So now, this is my
これから
favorite.
はホットフルーツ
No.
ポンチが一番俺の好きなものだ。
But you haven't even tried it yet. Okay, so they're still in the dream.
Yeah, of
確
course.
定事項だと言ってもいい。
I can just tell. End of story.
好きな人の手料理なんだ。
My beloved made it for
た
me.
とえまずくても
It could taste like puke
美
for
味
all
しい
I
って言う
care.
よ。
If it tastes like puke, then you better tell me, mister. How else am I supposed to improve?
わかった。
Alright then.
ま
If
ず
I
いと
don't
きは
like it, I'll
素
say
直に
so.
まずいって言うよ。
There we go. Honesty. That's what we want to see here, so.
というわけで
No. Feed it to me.
食べさせて。
Right here?
ここで
Right here.
そんなに注意
If
深
you're
く
looking
周り
for
を
your
確認し
brother,
なくても
he's not around.
漁師はいないよ
I erased?
手がああ見えて
He may
Cookie
look
made it.
clueless, but he knows how to take a hint.
どこ
He's
かで
probably
タバコで
outside
も吸って
smoking
る
a
んじゃない
cigarette.
それに見られたっていいじゃないか
What do you care if he sees us?
俺と
He
君
knows we're
は
dating.
恋人同士なのだから
Dating?
嫌なの
You don't want to?
Of course I do.
じゃあ
Well,
ほら
what are you waiting for,
あ
Riku?
んして
Feed it to me.
Fat snow, fat snow, fat snow, fat snow. Say ah.
あー
How is it?
甘い
Very sweet.
Well, yeah, it's fruit punch.
でも
And refreshing.
さっぱりしている
Well, yeah, it's fruit punch. You don't like it?
You really wanna know?
気になる
Tell me, I'm dying.
なら
Well then, why don't you
君も
have
食
some
べて
too?
みればいいじゃないか
Indirect kiss, indirect kiss, indirect kiss. Huh? Oh, never mind. That's not as indirect as I thought it was gonna be.
that is a pretty direct kiss right there. Ma.
どう
Ma.
お味の方
How does
は
it taste?
I did not expect Snow to just like mama bird it into her
Right?
her face. I know it's the first time she's been caught off guard in this entire series. Really sweet.
そうだね
It's really
すごく
good.
美味しいよどうしたの
What's the matter?
顔が
Yeah,
真っ
it's
赤
red
だ
as
け
a
ど
tomato.
Just remember, this guy probably still has moldy breath.
Don't worry about it. It's in his dream.
Sure. Do you like kisses, my prince?
好きだよ
Oh, going for seconds.
それ
するの
do.
もされるのも
Both
ね
giving and receiving.
美味しい
Why did they translate it as yum yum?
Yum yum.
Tasty. So you can dish it,
君は
but
自
you
分
can't
から
take
する
it?
のはいいのに
Is that it?
されるのは苦手なんだ
I just wasn't expecting it. That's all.
君も
Yeah, well, neither
不
was
意
I.
打ちだったけど
Eh,
俺も
Maybe.
君の店で働こうかな
What?
晴れて俺も自
Not
由
that
の
I'm
身
free
な
from
んだ
my
し
prison. I like to
これから
try new
は
things for a
好きなことを
change.
してみようかなって俺の好きなことは
Sure,
本を
my
読
favorite
むこ
hobby
と
is
だけど
reading. But I can
それ
do
じゃあ
that
今までと
anytime.
何も変わらないからね他に興味がある
Granted,
ことなんて
I'm
特にな
not
い
especially
けど
interested in running a cafe.
君が
All
楽し
those
そう
fun
に
stories you
兄
told
弟
me
の
actually
話を
make
して
me
い
a
る
little
時に
jealous.
なんとなくいいなって思ったんだ
Aw, Snow White.
あでも
No, but I'm
俺
totally
何もできない
useless.
よ料理も
I can't cook,
掃除も
or
洗
clean,
濯も
or do laundry,
針仕
or
事
sew.
も
Oh,
王子
that's
様
fine.
だ
We'll start you as a
からね
waiter.
I've lived my whole life as a little prince.
でも
But I'm
やって
still
みる
going
よ
to try.
俺は不器用だか
Sure.
ら
Maybe I'm
う
clumsy
ま
and
くできない
unskilled,
かもしれないけ
and I
ど
might screw up dozens and dozens
何
of
度も何度も
times.
失敗するかもしれない
That's
けど
called learning.
できるまで努力する。
I'll just keep trying until I get it right.
何度も挑戦
As
する。
many times as it takes.
That's the
いつ
spirit.
までも君に
I'm not a
おんぶ
baby.
に抱っこじ
I
ゃ
can't just rely on you for every little thing.
俺は
After all, I'm your prince.
君の王子様なんだから。君の前で
And I
は
want to be perfect for you.
かっこよく振る舞いたいんだ。
And they lived happily ever after.
I still say it's sus that Snow is taller than Reiki.
Why?
First of all, malnourished.
It's his dream. He can be a little tall if he wants.
Yeah, if he's wearing like 3-foot heels or 3-foot platform shoes or something. Anyway, we also wanted to get some. You can be a little tall as a tree. So we wanted to get some more bad endings to see what happens with Wizard.
Yeah, let's spoil this happy mood.
Yeah. Death! Oh, a mirror, sure. A mirror? I contemplated that might signify, but couldn't think of anything. Just then,
Oh, that's previously.
Wizard comes in with a Glock. You dumb bitch. Something was wrong with the world. As I ran and ran, the path was slowly enveloped in darkness and silence. Where am I? But it was too dark, and I couldn't see any people or buildings. I felt a strange sense of deja vu, like I've done this before. It wasn't the first time I had felt this deeply mournful presence. The thing is, she also says it the first time, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Ah! Oh, it's you.
I almost have to wonder if you're doing this on purpose.
This time it was, bitch. Hi, we're back.
She called me tragic. Am I really that tragic? We're about to find
Yes.
out next week.
We're about to find out all your dumbass little stuff, man.
Yeah, we're gonna know all your nooks and crannies. Wait.
I'd be okay with that.
No answer, huh? I'll kill you again and again. Until the day you finally kill me back. Hello?
We get to kill him?
Don't be excited about that.
I mean, we get to dish it back. Got it.
But until then, I am your servant. Interesting. Interesting.
Fairy tales make the end.
Okay, so that's part 5.
I think that's it. I think there was only 5 parts to Wizards.
I'm pretty sure there's 6. I pressed the wrong button. I hit start instead of continue. But given that launches straight into story, that means we'll press start next week. Anyways.
Each bad end unlocks a part of the wizard route. No, it's Reddit I'm getting this information from, so. Death? The word made me shudder. Just then, Saki's gonna skip the dialogue. Oh, so we need all the bad ends to unlock a part of the wizard route, so yeah.
Well, good thing I wanted to do this anyways, because morbid curiosity. Let's go.
Yeah. Something was wrong with the world. As I ran and ran, the path was slowly enveloped in darkness and silence. Little did you know, Saku's just been using the same voice clip of me doing that over and over again for all the videos. Where am I? But it was too dark, and I couldn't see any people or buildings. I felt a strange sense of deja vu. It wasn't the first time I had felt this deeply mournful presence. Oh, she did.
Interesting.
I love how the wizard's just not even entertaining anymore. He's just like, oh man, this bitch.
No, hey, we've seen all the scenarios in the Snow White chapter.
What? There's trophies for that? Fuck.
But yeah, I think that's it, just the 6. Which makes sense, because he
Yeah.
literally just stabbed you and that was it.
Oh yeah,
Let's
he
see.
literally just went,
Yep.
I'm done with this. I'm no longer taunting, this is just a threat.
Yep. It's like, enough of this.
Oh my god, the Reddit I found this information is r/Atome Games.
I mean,
Accurate. Well, now what?
I don't know. No thoughts had empty.
Well, let's see. We're like 2 hours in. We finished up Snow's route. I'm okay with calling it here for this week because then we can start fresh with Wizard's route.
Yeah.
And you did a lot of reading today.
I did do
so-
a lot of reading today.
But yeah, we figured out what's wrong with Snow, and the answer is a lot.
Yep.
A lot.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of annoying that I know one thing as a matter of fact, because, like, I'm seeing so many signs to that, but I can't say anything, because, once again, I know it as a matter of fact. So...
I know, the curse of knowledge, bitch. How does it feel? I'm over here ignorant and free, meanwhile you're restraining yourself.
Yep. What do you think, though? Do you have any extra thoughts that you haven't shared yet?
Let's see. With the new information we got today, it definitely starting to piece it together that the Looking Glass world is a dream world.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, he goes from his normal dream into the lake that then takes him to the Looking Glass world. So
Mhm.
it's like a nightmare realm, or it's like pseudo magic area where it just happened to stumble into, and now Reikyu has kind of made either a promise, or she is the one orchestrating everything that happens in the Looking Glass world, and she has Wizard as her sidekick,
Yeah.
kind of making sure the story goes the way that they want it to.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no, because like Wizard talks about an evil queen, but never refers to Reikyu as evil queen. He does say that he got his friend roped into this, which I assumed a couple weeks ago was Reikyu.
Yeah. I mean,
It could also be Alice, but I
Yeah.
don't see Alice having any friends. So
wow.
that's just my 2 cents on that.
So mean.
I mean, what part of his demeanor in any incarnation we've seen him in makes you assume that he has friends? His only friend is Reikyu.
I'd be
And that's
his
just
friend.
because Reikyu's friends with everybody.
I'd be his friend.
I know you would. I'm talking about characters in the story, though.
He's a tsundere. People
a
love
tsundere.
tsunderes.
I mean, you're not wrong. But people don't like interacting with tsunderes in real life. Unless you're, like, already established a relationship, and it's like, okay, this is just how this person is. But, like,
Yeah.
dealing with a tsundere in real life is exhausting.
Is this out
Like
of
an
personal
actual true
experience?
tsundere. Yes. They always say the opposite of what they mean and then act like they don't care when they actually care, and it's frustrating just trying to figure that out. Alice is so funny. I want to squeeze him so bad. That's true. We have to figure out how Alice fits in this, because it's like, it could be that Alice is just a manifestation of Reikyu's psyche, but it's like, that doesn't track, because they're definitely not the same person.
Yeah.
But that's just my thoughts. It seems like, because it's always been referred to as the Looking Glass world, so it seems like we're either having a connected plot line that involves all these boys, and Reikyu hopping from story to story to story to save them, or different incarnations of Reikyu, as we've seen with the wizard.
Yeah.
Just straight up murdering a couple of them. A couple of the iterations get it right, the rest of them get kind of axed.
Mm-hmm.
And then... so there's definitely a bigger force at play here. Reikyu's still just a pawn in the bigger game.
Yeah.
And then Wizard's kind of the piece that takes her out when she gets too far off script.
Mm-hmm.
And then Alice, he seems to have roughly the same powers as Wizard. He is at least aware of the story, but he's treated more of an outsider to the story in most cases.
Yeah.
So it seems like he's just there for the ride for the most part. Which will be great when we get to his story.
Yeah. Because the wizard said that Alice is the most tragic of them all, so...
Yeah. I remember that. I definitely remember the wizard going like, hey, bitch, you're the most tragic of us all.
Yeah.
So fuck off. And then he does fuck off.
Yeah, he does. You don't see him ever again.
You don't see him for the rest of that route.
Yeah.
Except when he goes talks to Snow and tells Snow like, hey, you're fucking tragic.
I'm pretty sure that was before.
True. That was before. But still, like, Alice being the idealized version of Snow is interesting, because, like, if Snow's entire thing was that he wanted to look like his mom, Alice does not look like his mom.
Yeah, of course.
Or, sorry, doesn't look like Snow's mom.
Yeah. Alice doesn't look like the mom either.
So it's weird that Alice was like the idealized version of a prince in Snow's eyes, to me. But really, I think they just wanted to fit him in the story somewhere.
I want to say stuff so bad, but I can't.
Okay, you want absolute batshit crazy things that I can pull from the dark recess of my mind?
I mean, it might not be that batshit crazy depending on what you have to say.
So I think Alice is behind everything.
In what way?
I think Alice is the true ruler of the Looking Glass world, and he's using Reikyu and Wizard to just kind of play out these stories. For not any real reason in particular, he's just bored. Nah, he uses all of his brain cells to be a brat.
I mean...
True.
I don't necessarily disagree what you just said, but I cannot elaborate with what I mean because of what
exactly.
I know.
So we'll have to wait till next time, or until Alice route.
Well, luckily Peachy knows, so I can bother Peachy about this.
Yeah, you could be like, man, this guy is completely gone. He's just not even close.
I don't think you're not necessarily not even close. I just feel like if you had a bit of information, you'd be able to connect the same dots that I can, but you don't know. And I don't know if you will know until it's literally in front of our faces.
The best part is we'll be like halfway through the wizard route and I'll be like, oh, wait a minute, fuck!
We'll see what happens.
You'll when I start connecting the dots, you'll know, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I won't be surprised if it's not until, like, it's literally right in front of our faces, like, spelled out for us, though.
The bet you'll be really funny. Screen one of Wizard's Route. Wait, oh, got it. Because you know me, I'll be thinking about it for like a week.
Yeah, I mean,
Reviewing all the information we've ever known about this series.
just watching the YouTube videos, trying to piece together what you can.
Because at first we thought it was like Reikyu's dream, right? Like we thought it was Reikyu's dream, and that all these like connected story bits of information of like, oh, cafe is always a constant setting, or there's a mansion that a rich family lives in. Their parents are always away on trips. Like we were like starting to connect the pieces that were consistent enough throughout the stories.
Like there were a lot of consistencies, but like Snow's route like threw them all out the window, but also gave us a lot
but then we find out it's
answers.
Snow's dream, so it's like okay. There was still some consistencies there though. Like the mansion still exists, the cafe still exists, the lake still exists. Ryoshe is still a bro as normal.
Of course.
He's like we still find out that he's Reikyu's brother, which has been very consistent throughout all the story threads.
Yeah.
We didn't find Wolf was just gone from this, so we don't know anything about Wolf. But we know Wolf is like the best friend in most scenarios.
I wish I could say stuff, but I can't.
I swear, if they do some bullshit like Wolf was the real mastermind, I'm going to freaking flip my desk.
I don't think it's gonna be anything like that.
Good. I would do it. I'm already playing on the how.
Hey Peachy, do you happen to be free to VC after this is over, by the way? Please say yes.
And then, like, the thing is, we had some very consistent portrayals of Red, Gretel, and Cinderella in Snow's Route, which is really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because it would be under the assumption that he's read the stories that Reiki was already a part of.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it all coming from one mind makes sense, especially if you start thinking of these as like actual fairy tales that have played out in storybooks that someone has read.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I don't think Snow was the one that was reading them. I think they just kind of used it as a backdrop for his story. But then he might have populated the world with these fairy tale characters and gave them a reason to be in the world. I still don't think Snow is the mastermind. I still think there's someone higher up in the chain, but they're definitely using the fairy tale stories as a basis to create this looking glass world.
I think it might help you get to the right answer to not think of it as a mastermind at all. Like, this isn't Zero Escape or Danganronpa.
but I love mastermind.
This is not the right type of game.
Okay. So, like, a collective effort is what you're saying.
Not even that, but, like, you are saying some things that are so close, but you're missing something that would, like, get you there, you know?
Bitch, that's how I live my entire life. I'm missing just one thing and it'll piece everything together.
Okay, before I burst, I'm gonna go ahead and raid Meep. Meep is currently playing some Jackbox to celebrate the Lunar New Year. It was a lot of fun finishing Snow's route with you.
Yeah. We finally got to find out that the apple pie was just rotten apple.
Yeah, which we kind of already suspected anyways. But nice to have confirmation.
To be fair, with some of the ideas I had for what that pie could have been, it could have been way worse.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking he was finishing the pie every time, and I was like, how would that make sense?
Yeah,
and
no,
I was like,
just
oh no.
But just a bite at a time and not surviving makes sense.
Yeah, but just him biting it and then throwing it back up makes a lot more sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm glad it wasn't any of the darker shit, because I will not lie. Gretel's Root kind of fucked up my brain about the series.
Valid. Do you have any parting words for chat before Twitch chucks us at Meep?
Eat real food.
Solid advice. All right. Thank you everyone so much for joining us on this adventure, and we'll catch you all next time. Bye bye.